welcome to episode 144 of the Firmware Update, your source for all the news under the PlayStation banner. I'm one of your hosts, Malcolm Spinetti, and joining me, as always, and fresh off a fun little trip to see Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, Joe Garcia.
And Malcolm has not watched this movie, so I'm going to take this opportunity to detail the entire plot of the movie for his benefit and for the benefit of listeners at home who may have done the same.
Our views just plummeted.
So the movie begins with all of them hanging out.
He's just joking, folks. He's such a kidder. I'm going to ask you one question, and you can just answer yes or no. Is it good?
Yes.
Very good. Awesome. I can't wait. Can't wait for my goddamn wife to come here. You know, married to me.
You could just watch.
That's not how couples do things, Joe.
Good, just watch.
Well, she has the car, Joe, number one. Number two.
I mean, there's no other way to get anywhere.
I'm not going to take a bus on top of paying for the ticket.
La-di-da.
Let me tell you something, Joe. As a wife of mine, there's only one real rule she has to deal with. Well, there's a few, but one of them in particular is when the new Marvel movie comes out, you get the day off, or at least get the night off so we can go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, she's off in God knows where right now, off doing business or whatever.
You have the day off.
I did not have the day off. I literally just came home from work.
I mean, you have the weekend off, but it sounds like.
I do. I am working for the next 6 days straight. Like, when my next day off is Thursday.
Well, it sounds like you fucked up as much as she did.
I didn't make this.
It sounds like you both fucked up.
Like AT&T just gives me a schedule and says, "Hey, there's your schedule," and I'm like, "Thanks."
Well, the rule, Malcolm, is that if the Marvel movie comes out, you take the day off.
Well,
did you not just say this literally 2 seconds ago?
And if she was going to be around, I would have. But sadly, no. Besides that, trust me, Joe. Once she gets back, we are going. I don't care if it's a midnight showing. We're going to go see that shit, and we're going to enjoy it and love it.
You fucked up?
I did not fuck up. I don't have access to the car, so therefore I did not fuck up. So what have you been up to this week, Joe?
What have I been up to? Not a whole heck of a lot. I've been working mostly this week. Did manage to play a couple of things here and there. I played, what's it called? I finally got around to playing Life is Strange.
Was it in fact strange?
It is a little strange, but it's actually quite good. Yeah, it's quite good.
Well, I'm sorry, but the name of the game is Strange, not Life is Pretty Good. So sorry.
Yeah, it's an episodic game. It's done by Don't Nod Entertainment, who did what was it called? It's Remember Me. It's always fun when you can't recall the name of the game. But yeah, they did that, and this is an episodic game about a girl in high school who discovers that she has a weird power to manipulate time. And I played most of the first episode, but what I played was quite good, and I'm looking forward to finishing that and getting started on episode 2, which is already also out as well. So cool stuff there.
Nice. So guess what I did? Well, Joe, I have something I have to admit to you.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, Joe, but I've been on other podcasts.
I'm hanging up now.
Fun story. There's a dude by the name of Fro. He is, I'm very sorry to Fro, but I can't remember what country he's from. I think Iceland. And I've heard him on another podcast that I tend to listen to quite a bit. And he decided to start up his own podcast called Let's Talk Then. And it is a talk show in the literalist sense of the form. He just picks like random subjects. You come on and you just talk. And, I liked his page and all that. He's asking for co-hosts, which, I'm pretty busy, admittingly, with our stuff, so I didn't say anything, and I left it at that. And then he wrote a post about fretting about stuff, and I wrote a little post to him saying, "Hey man, stuff like this can happen. Don't worry about it." I mean, basically, it was like talking about his first podcast, and I'm like, "Hey man, don't worry. The first podcast is always a little weird. You're finding your rhythm with all the other co-hosts and what have you. Just hang in there and just aim for the potential that exists in the show." And I guess he took that in a very positive way, because a few days later, me and my wife were at the drive-thru for Taco Bell when I started receiving a Facebook message from Fro. And he's like, "Man, I tell you, I am a desperate man right now." And I'm like, "Oh, what makes you say that?" "Well, could you hop on the computer in 15 minutes and do a podcast with me?" And I'm like, wait, you mean like now? I mean, he's like, yeah. And, long story short, Taco Bell was only a few minutes from the house, so we got back. I put on the headset, and I did the show. Now, when I say this show is a talk show, let me just, run down the gamut of some of the things we talked about. We started by talking about Extreme Rules and going over that WWE paper, some of the things we thought about it. I gave it, a solid B on the grading scale. I thought it was all right. Hey, so I gave some nice back and forth on there, and then it switched to politics, which, I think I made, one good point during the whole thing, because I think the subject was, gay marriage and, why people still fight and what have you. And then it went to religion, and that's where I officially went to, yeah. And, it was a fun conversation, actually. I mean, we talked
It all sounds like it goes right in your way out.
I felt really bad. I thought I ruined the show, to be honest. Because they're, all talking about these deep philosophical things.
And you're like, can we talk about wrestling again?
Yeah, please, yeah. It was I'm open to, there being a guy in the sky who runs everything, but I'm not sure is what I'm saying. So that was my experience. And Fro, according to Fro, I did a great job. So he actually invited me to come back a few more times. So if you guys want to check it out, it's called Let's Talk Then. It is currently only on SoundCloud, so you guys can check it out there, and then we'll see what happens once he gets it on iTunes. But right now, that's where you find it. I'm on episode 2, as he's already released 5 episodes, and he's only been on for 2 weeks. So kudos to him. Kind of a workhorse, but by all means, folks, go check it out. It's a fun show. And let's see. And as for what I've been playing, I've actually been studying the wrestler that we are going to be reviewing for the next Slam University episode. And I have to tell you, he has a surprisingly long history in the indies. I've just got to FCW. So it's going to be a fun conversation, I think. So look forward to that for all you wrestling fans out there. And let's see, I actually did play some Final Fantasy Type 0, by the way.
About damn time.
I know. I got that first. I got 2 trophies, and then I got sidetracked by all that stuff. So. Yeah, that's been what I've been up to. Oh, you know what's a surprisingly good show?
What?
Hawaii Five-0.
Are you talking about the new one that's CBS restarted, or are you talking about the old?
Well, it's been on for 4 seasons now, so I wouldn't say it's recent.
What's the reboot?
Yeah, the reboot.
Why are you watching?
Well, it's extremely good if you imagine you're watching a comedy.
But why are you watching that instead of literally anything?
Because it's not bad. Because I've seen it I saw it on the Netflix for a while. I've already seen Daredevil a few times. So, right between the dogs there. I've already seen Daredevil a few times, so I thought, okay, hey, why not? And, it wasn't that bad. I actually liked it. Had the Chinese guy from Lost, so it was pretty fun.
Okay.
Plus, if you pretend it's a comedy, because, the main protagonist is really over the top. His character is he's the type of guy who shoots first and asks questions later. But he takes it to, a whole other level, Joe. They corner this guy, he's shot, and they're interrogating him. And you know what his first plan of action is?
What?
Literally grab him and hold him over the edge of this tall building. Where are the drugs? What do you know? And his partner's like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. In the episode that I just saw, there's actually a part where, they're interrogating the guy. He lets his partner ask this time the questions, and the guy tells him to fuck off, and his partner goes, well, I tried, and he's like, yeah, I thought you did a good job. Then he grabs the guy, drags him over the counter, where they promptly put him in a boat, sail out in the middle of the ocean till they find this floating cage in the middle of shark-infested waters, and throw him in the cage, and they sail away. And he's like, yep, just call us when you're done.
Okay.
And all these sharks are fighting for chum all around him, and he's freaking out. And then they sail over a couple of meters away and drink a beer as they watch the guy yelping for help. It's great. But yeah, I enjoy it. You don't like any shows that may not be the most highly acclaimed of shows?
Oh, sure. I watch Law and Order, SVU or something, but
oh wow,
pretty much it. There's so much good stuff on TV now. It's almost impossible not to be watching something better than Hawaii Five-0.
SVU is right up there with Game of Thrones in terms of shows that are depressing. Because nothing good ever. Because it's always going to be, the girl's dead. The rapist gets away.
Oh yeah, but there's also a lot of unintentional shows.
Is there?
On SVU, yeah. The writing and the acting are usually sometimes miss the mark in terms of the gravitas of the situation, and I can't help but laugh at some of the things that happen underneath all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I will say it's kind of a who's who of people that show up there. Or like I've seen people from like Forrest Griffin to Janine Garofalo. It's and they go up there and it's just to do this like serious performance. And it's like, yes, that's the body. That's his body. It's very good stuff.
Is your dog like jogging on your head?
No, they're fighting over what my wife will do, and it's quite lazy. She will like after she's done drinking like a soda or a plastic bottle, she'll throw it to them and let them use it as a toy, which is stupid because now they think all plastic bottles are toys. So if we're, God forbid, we're still drinking out of it, and they're currently fighting over this one piece. So after we go to the news, I'm just going to yank it from them and throw it out, which should solve the issue. To which point, folks, we have actually quite a bit of news here. So I'm just going to take the baby's bottle away, and then let's go to the news. Alrighty, Joe. So what happened again this week?
Let's see here. Well, first things first, I think, is that I want to bring a human element to this part of the news, or at least lead with some more serious things. If you follow the news even a little bit, you probably know that there was an earthquake over in Nepal, rocking the area near Mount Everest, and it's been real bad over there. So a couple of game companies, while finding news, I saw that a couple of game companies were doing their part to help with those efforts over there. Ubisoft is helping raising relief money for victims of the Nepal earthquake through the Canadian Red Cross. If you go to the Canadian Red Cross's website or just search for Ubisoft Canadian Red Cross, you'll find the donation page for that. Ubisoft is pledging to match all donations up to the first $100,000. So that's the worthy thing there. If you prefer to get something physical in return for your donation, Bungie has a new Destiny shirt that you can buy, where all the proceeds, all the profits of that shirt are donated to charities involved in providing aid to those in need over there. And on top of that, you'll also get you'll get a code to redeem for like an in-game shader and demo as well.
Oh, sweet.
So there you go. If you go to either of those two things, you can go help out a worthy effort.
Sweet.
So I figured I'd leave it.
Yeah, maybe we can put the links in the description too.
Yes, I will do that.
Cool. Alrighty. So aside from the unfortunate earthquake, what else happened this week?
Let's see. But probably the biggest news of the week, though, aside from that, is that let's just say, following all this Hideo Kojima news, the inevitable happened, Malcolm, and that is the cancellation of Silent Hill.
Was it inevitable though?
Yes, Malcolm, it was.
Obviously, Hideo wasn't going to make the game, but
yes,
you think they wouldn't cancel? I don't know, their number 2 franchise, for Christ's sakes.
Well, we're talking about Konami. They are run by literal idiots and jackasses over there.
Yeah. I mean, after like this whole incident, I've been hearing like more and more about how Konami does, and they'll announce games like 5 days before it's released. They'll like underproduce certain games. Like I wish I could remember the names here, but there was like there was like quite a few articles and whatnot about it. Oh, funny thing, they're known primarily for video games and Yu-Gi-Oh over here. But what are their main sources of revenue over in Japan?
Health clubs and whatnot, and pachinko machines.
Well, pachinko machines, yes, but they actually have their own gym.
I just said, Mel.
You said house plugs.
Yes, I said health clubs.
Okay.
House plugs? What's a house plug?
I don't know, man. It was like I thought you were making like some sort of joke, and then you're like, oh, and pachinko machines. But yes, those are which is funny. Like Brian Altano, I think, said it best. So it's funny. Like over here, they're known for making you fat, but over there, they're known for slimming you down. So
yeah, and
but yeah, this is terrible. My God, and it's too late now. But Wednesday was the last time you could get that PT trailer or teaser trailer, because as of this recording, sadly, it's gone.
Mm-hmm. You can re-download it if you already downloaded it and deleted it. You can re-download it whenever you want.
Did you and you tried this out?
I haven't played it, but I did download it a few weeks ago. Once I saw that things were happening, things were rumbling over at Konami, I was like, maybe I'll just download this now. And lo and behold, it's like, we're taking this down. Like, that's not right.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the first thing that kind of happened, is that they announced that they were bringing down this demo inexplicably and everyone's like, what? And then like Guillermo del Toro was doing, I don't know what he was doing, but he was somewhere, and he was talking to some people, and he was talking about how it's basically not going to happen, and it makes his, like, it saddens his greasy heart or something, is what he said. And then after that, Norman Reedus, who was the guy who I guess he was supposed to be the protagonist of the game. He's like, yep, it's damn shame that this game's not happening, and everyone's like, literally everybody except Konami was actually saying that the game's not happening. And then a little bit after that, they were kind of like, they were still trying to like pretend that maybe it's still happening, like Silent Hill is a franchise, is a thing we're still excited about. And then like a day or two later, like, yeah, we're done with it.
I hate that corporate BS answer. We're always excited about a new Silent Hills, even if it's not this one.
Yeah, and then eventually they straight up just said, it's like, yeah, that's done. So yeah, it's weird that they got all these people involved with this game and then almost immediately canceled it. I wonder if Norman Reedus will ever work on a video game ever again. Like, his first video game was the Walking Dead game.
Yeah,
that's
Survival Instincts or something.
And then this one gets canceled immediately. He's probably like, well, I'm done with video games forever.
Oh man, I'm on the silver lining, and this is just me reaching here. I'll admit that. But just because they're not making Silent Hills doesn't mean Hideo and Del Toro can't make a game. Like,
Del Toro's never gonna.
Well, at this rate, no. But
like that was probably, I think that was another thing that he said when he was talking about the cancellation of this game. Because he was going to do that game with THQ Insane, and then they worked on that forever, and then nothing happened, and then this as well. Like, he spent so much time getting nowhere with these two projects. He's probably like, I think he said something along the lines, it's like, there's too much effort for me to do any one thing, and I've got nothing to show for it in all these years. So he figures that he'll just work on movies now.
That's not true, Joe. He has that amazing interactive teaser trailer. But no, part of me is want to say, you know what? They could just make whatever spooky haunted house the game. There you go. And like, imagine if Hideo and him would join up to a game, and I can imagine Sony and Microsoft just like in a bidding war to try to get that be an exclusive on their consoles.
I don't imagine. I don't see that.
I see. Like, hey, Hideo and Del Toro want to do that haunted house game. It's just now that it's not Silent Hills, they have even more room to work with.
Well, first of all, I assume that Konami owns anything that they worked on.
Well, no, they don't own the Fox.
Yes, they do.
They don't own the Fox. Come on.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's isn't that Hideo's thing?
He worked on it at Kojima Productions, which has been rebranded as Kojima or as Konami something or other. He worked on anything. Malcolm, this is how it works. Anything you work on with a company belongs to that company.
Yeah, but Konami's not going to know how to.
They just fund it on the kindness of their hearts. They're like, oh yeah, if you want to make an engine and take it with you when you leave the company, by all means, here's millions of dollars to do so. Well, that's not how it works, Malcolm.
Well, like, how can they own like the engine? That's just like Unity, right?
No.
Okay.
That's not how it works.
I don't know. I think they have some rights, but anyway,
they do that.
So they just make it over from scratch. I mean,
oh yeah, that's super.
Yeah. If Hideo could make a fucking Fox engine, he can make an even better engine.
Yeah, Konami paid for it. It's like he was doing it out of pocket.
All right. Well, we'll have to do some.
Do that. You have to do the research. Right. I'm perfectly fine over here.
No, you're shooting down everything I say. Okay. Well, how about
this? Because everything you're saying is crazy and ridiculous.
No, it's not. Sorry. Look, Sony could fucking say, all right, here, we'll fund your game. On top of that, here's an engine. Use that. There you go. Boom,
oh yeah, just here's an engine. Yeah, which engine?
Just here's an engine. Sony could get.
They just pull out a chest out of like
a fucking engine, man.
Just pull out a chest out of a closet and dig through here. Here's one of their engines. Here, pick whatever one you want.
Talk to From Software. Here, use the Dark Souls engine. There you go.
It's not their engine to give out.
Yeah, it is, man. Fuck them.
No, it's not.
I don't give a shit, Joe. I want my goddamn horror game that I now is just like a fucking trailer. My God,
man.
But anyway, let's getting back to on subject here. This sucks because say what you will about. Did you ever play PT, Joe?
No.
What?
I told you. I literally said that 2 minutes ago.
So, well, you hadn't played it. I thought that meant that you hadn't played it recently, but you haven't played it at all?
Oh,
that's a shame. Why haven't you played it?
Because I haven't felt like it. How do you like thumb apples?
You haven't felt it. Felt like, come on, man.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I have it. Don't feel like playing it. There you go.
Well, for the other 99% of people who own PS4s who did play it, it was an amazing experience. I mean, you had freaking amazing atmosphere. It was scary. And it did so many like cool things to raise tension. You had Hideo like just fucking with people. It was great. And I'm gonna stop right here in 1 second. All right, sorry about that, folks. Like I said a while ago, I just recently got 2 dogs. I was hoping they'd be able to be nice, but they're not. But don't worry, they're a non-factor now. Anyway, task at hand here. Here, let's go back to PT. As you know what, fuck Konami and fuck Silent Hills. It was PT. It was beautiful. It was great. The atmosphere, that first time you see the ghost was just freaking crazy scary. The talking bag, finding the pieces of the note, the fact that the room kept looping over and over with just little changes here and there, the undead fetus in the bathroom, all that is gone, Joe. And the sad part is you haven't played it because you don't play good things, and like you can't even appreciate Hawaii 5-0 for Christ.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't know how good PT was.
Yeah, I'll never know now.
You could have played it. It's a freaking teaser, Joe. It's not like I was asking you to play it's not like anyone was asking you to play a full-fledged game. You could have played it for an hour, and there you go. Something to discuss here.
I would have played the real thing. I would play the real game.
It is a real game.
Sure.
Yeah, it's an interactive teaser, man, which thankfully you thought to download so you could at least like try it one of these years.
Maybe I'll just sell my PS4 with it on the hard drive.
Okay, I don't get that, because don't you need your PSN ID attached to it for it to work?
That's their problem. That's for them to figure out.
Yeah, that's like. I feel bad for the suckers who bought it to that. But
the information exists on the hard drive. How you'll access it, I don't know.
Oh man, but yeah, and this sucks because that game I think would have been something great. At the very least, it would have been something so new and different too. I mean, if you downloaded PT, folks, then if you hopefully you played it and you know what I'm talking about. Sadly, for the rest of the people, you won't know until the closest you'll get is watching a YouTube video on it. Which, you know what, yeah, if you can hear their reactions, it's pretty cool too. But so you don't think that Hideo, like or the way you're talking, it sounds like you think Hideo's done in video. It's like,
I don't know.
His Fox engine is done. He is like,
it's not his engine.
He's not going to be able to do it. Are you sure? Because I haven't seen any articles saying he doesn't have access to it.
Why do you? If he leaves Konami, he's not going to have access to the engine. He made it for their games.
Well, no, he made it for his team.
No, he made it for Konami. They're using it for their freaking soccer game, for Christ's sakes.
They're using the Fox engine. Are you sure?
Yes.
So wait, if you pop in the freaking soccer game, we'll see like a plane flying in stormy weather, and it'll have like the Fox logo on it.
The extent to which you don't know anything about video game engines is staggering, Malcolm.
Yeah, you say this, but all right, continue then.
No, that's it.
All right. Do you have anything to say on this matter? Other than oh darn? Or
well, I mean, yeah, I mean it sucks because it was an interesting concept, and you know they had the right big names attached to it. So it was definitely something to keep an eye on. But you know, Konami being Konami, found all the right ways to just completely fuck it up in every possible manner.
It's pretty amazing how hard they fucked this up. It's like we're not even in the summer yet, and Metal Gear is fucked.
Metal Gear is fine. I mean, the game coming up will be.
Yeah, 5 is going to be great. 6 forward, I'm a little concerned because you say what you will that like some like I appreciate that there are some people out there that are trying to keep a stiff upper lip and are like, man, I can't wait to see Dude X work on this developer. Like Kevin Levine is going to come from retirement and do Metal Gear 6 or something like that.
Who?
Kevin Levine, isn't that or Ken Levine, isn't that the guy from BioShock?
Kevin Levine.
Yeah, his brother Kevin Levine is going to come and take over. But yeah, Pro Evolution Soccer, there it is. All right, so yeah, and now Silent Hills, even though there could arguably be another Silent Hills, you just hyped up this amazing idea of what Silent Hills could be, and just forget it. We're not doing that. But here we go. Here's
another Vita game.
Yeah, here's another dude wandering a freaking foggy city again. Enjoy that. You've just the next Silent Hills is just not going to be, the hype won't be be there. Mainly because because Konami's doing it. They don't know how to hype up anything anymore. But no, now we had like this amazing idea of what it could be. Now it's gone. It's dead. Yeah, it's like this is like the most depressing story for me this week because I was really this is the first time I've been looking forward to a Silent Hills game.
You keep saying Silent Hills.
Silent Hill. Yeah, that was the name of it. Silent Hills.
Or are you saying you were looking forward to a Silent Hills game? That would have been the first Silent Hills game.
Well, no, it's like Silent Hill game. It just sounds weird saying it like. But you know what I'm saying.
It sounds weird saying it like that.
Yeah, Silent Hill game.
That's even though that's been the way to say it for like the last 20 years almost.
You'd say Silent Hills like the Metal Gear's game. Shut the fuck up. But anyway. All right, you want to add something to this there, buddy, or else it's just me ranting about how much bullshit this is?
Well, I mean, on top of this, Konami, even though not necessarily related, but they listed themselves from the New York Stock Exchange, so now they're only trading stocks in London and in Tokyo, I think.
Oh, wow.
There's
been a lot of talk that this is like the beginning of them stepping away from console games. Do you think that's the case?
No. People say that because they bring up the things you brought up before, the health and fitness stuff, the pachinko stuff. Because, I mean, those are significant parts of their business. But, for all even though games are like, they posted like some of their business stuff, on when they announced that they were delisting themselves from New York Stock Exchange. They posted up some of their sales numbers or whatever, and their digital entertainment, which is their game stuff, is down like 5% for the year or whatever. But it's still the biggest part of their business by a fairly significant margin. So I mean, for them to just say, yeah, like let's just cut off games because we suck at that now. That doesn't make sense either.
I love to see what it'll be after all these announcements.
It'll just be freaking Pro Evolution Soccer and whatever.
That's all they got now. At least they got at least they have the Fox engine for that shit.
Hey, it was all worth it.
It was worth shooting them in the foot. Both feet. They shot both feet and now are just crawling for something.
But man, look at
a soccer ball with their goddamn nose.
But man, look at the detail on Ronaldo's hair.
Yeah, you can see the beads of sweat off that one guy from Jamaica. It's great. God damn it, Jim. This is the most depressing cancellation ever. Yeah, I really want to rant more about this. This is bullshit. Oh God. This is like one of the more hyped games for me. I was like, "Oh, this is great! This is great!" And then
I mean, once you saw all of that stuff going down with them, kind of rebranding all the Metal Gear stuff, and hearing that his contract, I guess, is up probably this year, and the very tiny likelihood that he would ever dream of re-signing with Konami, you kind of knew that Silent Hills was just not happening at that point.
Well, I still don't think it's over for Hideo. I mean, look what he did. Looking at his resume here. You don't think like another company would pick him up?
Well, I mean,
obviously, Naughty Dog picked him up.
Well, I mean, he's obviously got the pedigree for
Yeah,
but at the same time,
young, yeah.
but at the same time, for all the critical acclaim that those games have, and for as much as they sell, those are very expensive games that take forever to make. And I don't see game companies exactly saying, "Hey, I really want to spend $70 million on a game that will take 6 years."
True, but okay. Granted, they take 6 years to make, but at the same time, did they make that up, or were they all commercial failures?
I mean, they probably. I mean, I don't know. I obviously don't have access to Konami's financials, but I mean, for as expensive as the games are, and as long as they take to make, I can't imagine that Konami was enthusiastic about working with Konami or with Kojima on the last couple of games.
I mean, it's interesting. I guess it goes to show you, like, I heard someone say, and it's so true with video games, that video games are probably the thinnest razor's edge between being art and a business. Like, I mean, you could try to say, see this from Konami's point of view. Like, Kojima comes up and was like, "Hey, I got this great idea for Metal Gear Solid 5. It's going to be great." And, Konami's response, "Okay, how quickly can we ship it?"
Oh, right.
Oh, that long? Okay, what if we just take the beginning part of it and sell that by itself for a while?
Yeah.
Like, Kojima actually did say that was them. Like, he didn't want to do that, and they're like, but okay,
yeah, but they're like, but Konami's like, we want to sell something, damn it. You've been working on this for 5 years.
it's like, or hey, I'm working on this new game with Guillermo del Toro. I mean, like, and Konami's like, that's great. How quickly can we ship?
Yeah, like when's that gonna happen? Oh, in 2020? Okay,
It's like,
sure.
it's like you can either have a game that's critically acclaimed and viewed as a masterpiece, such as most of the Metal Gear games, I'd argue, if not all of them, or you can have Call of Duty, where it's financially successful, but as far as art, you can't really put it too high up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, none of those are bad games.
Compared to Metal Gear,
They're not bad games.
I'm not saying they're bad games, but they're not at the standard of like a Metal Gear 3.
Well, I mean, the Fast and Furious movies aren't freaking Citizen Kane, but they're perfectly good.
Hey, first of all, don't insult the Fast.
Okay.
Hey, Fast and Furious were freaking Oscar winners compared. I think they did win an Oscar at some point. But anyway,
No, they almost certainly not.
Freaking Vin Diesel, take my fan. Oh man, well I am thoroughly bummed. This is a tragedy, my God, and I'm very disappointed in Konami, and I can only hope their next plan of action isn't to drop Yu-Gi-Oh cards, as I really love those too. But knowing my luck this year, probably I'd switch to Magic the Gathering or some lame stuff. Oh well. You have anything else to say on this one, buddy?
No.
Okay.
I did not.
Fuck you, Konami. Fuck you and your lame-ass business practices.
That I can get behind.
All right, there we go.
Konami really is a terrible publisher. They just have no idea what the fuck they're actually doing. I mean, the fact that they have so many great properties that they just have no fucking idea what to do with anymore.
Like, remember when Castlevania was a big deal?
Yeah, like seriously. Come on, Castlevania is like, man, like they're
like Symphony of the Night. I remember when that came out, and it's not like it became a cult hit. It was a hit from the get-go. People loved it. It's what created the term Metroidvania, because before it was just Metroid game, and then this came out, and like, well, let's add the last part of Castlevania onto it too. And people were like saying, "Dude, this is great. Keep doing stuff like this." They never made anything else like that. I mean,
yeah, I mean, internally, the people working on these games just no longer have any idea what to do with them anymore. But, the franchises that they do have, are stalwart franchises, the Metal Gears, the Castlevania, the Silent Hill, even Silent Hill, like the first one came out, 15 years ago? 16 years ago, I think, yeah, in 99. So, yeah, these are all series that, have garnered very loyal fan bases, and I'm sure there are people within the industry now with fairly good experience in making video games that have great ideas for any of these franchises. Maybe bring them on board, see what they've got to say about making a new game in any of these series. Because it would be nice to see a proper Castlevania. Lords of Shadow, the first one was alright, but the second one was the bad. Who cares? And no one's gonna remember or care about Lords of Shadow at all, about either game in like another 5 years.
Yeah, I actually like the first Lords of Shadow game.
But will you give a shit in 2020, Malcolm? Probably not.
I don't know.
Like we're here 20 years after, freaking Symphony of the Night because that game was amazing, but we're sure as hell not gonna remember freaking Lords of Shadow the same way, with the same reverence.
Well, at least to see the Shadow. That was a little future, and he's fighting Nazis.
Well, to be fair, that sounds awesome.
Dracula fighting Nazis. Yeah, okay, on paper, yeah. I imagine the Konami go, oh, great, how quickly can we ship it? But
well, yeah, there are fans, like these series have been around long enough that fans, that people have been fans of them for long enough that have also become, developers in their own right, that maybe they want to make their own, imprint on one of these franchises. So maybe Konami should bring one of them aboard or something.
Like, would you say Axiom Verge was up there with that? Or
Yeah.
Little plug there for Axiom Verge. Thanks again for being on the show. See how that works, developers? You come on the show, we plug you. There you go.
Oh, man. But yeah, Konami, the worst.
It is. And, I will play PT with reverence and memory of what could have been. And you know what, Joe? I don't care what you think. As far as tell me that garbage, the Fox Engine's theirs. He'll make another one.
Sure, yeah, that's easy.
And he'll get, I'm still having, chills thinking about him working at Naughty Dog. Imagine them getting together to write a story for a game. My God. Poor Drake.
None of it makes sense.
What the hell? What do you mean all of that? The last 3 games were VR training? That would explain why he keeps breaking up with Elena. Internal programming, Joe. probably have something to do with child soldiers. It'd be very, very depressing. But anyway, so yes, for once, me and Joe in agreement. Fuck Konami. All right, what's the next story?
All right, next story is that Sony finally did release that those financial reports that we've been talking about the last couple of weeks, where they were hinting at stuff. And it's actually been pretty bad for them, actually. Sony, in their Game like this is a report on Game Informer. Sony has confirmed that its forecasted shortfall of $1.05 billion for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2015. The company is hopeful for significant turnaround in the coming year, though, forecasting operating income of 140 billion yen to stop the bleeding. The company faced significant losses in its mobile communications division, totaling 220.4 billion yen, or about 837 billion dollars. That's just the mobile communications. That's goddamn great. But showed positive operating.
They're only out for one company, for Christ's sake. Of course, it's in the shitter.
But showed positive operating income in its imaging products, home entertainment, and sound devices, film, music, and financial services businesses. All of these showed growth over the previous year. Let's see. Their gaming division accounted for $401 million, up from a loss in the previous fiscal year of $156 million. Sony reports that life-to-date shipments of the PlayStation 4 have reached 22.3 million. This is up from the report in March of sell-through to end users of 20.2. So, yeah, seems that they lost a lot of money because of mobile phones. They should probably stop doing that.
They should. I think that was I remember quite a few episodes ago, we actually told Sony stop doing this, and I think phones was one of them.
Yeah, because from what I gather from this report, that is literally the only part of the company losing money, and it's losing a shit ton of money at that. Like, everything else is, either breaking even or kind of, or with their gaming stuff where they're up by a decent amount. But, to lose almost $2 billion just out of your mobile communications division is crazy. Yeah. Why would you keep doing that? Get out of here.
Cell phones are a pain in the ass. Unless your name is Apple or Samsung, it's very risky.
Yeah, even HTC now, that seems that it seems like they were making good headway with the HTC One or whatever, and then the last couple of them have been just blah.
Yeah, exactly.
And all of a sudden, who cares about that?
LG kind of makes a good cell phone too, but it sells nowhere near as many phones as Samsung. It's if you're an Android guy, you use a Samsung. That's what I use. If you're Apple, of course, Apple. The rest of the stuff like Windows, BlackBerry, the Amazon Fire. Come on.
Oh, God,
I can tell you, Amazon lost a shit ton of money with the Amazon Fire.
Yeah.
I'd never seen a price decrease so quickly than the Amazon Fire. Came out, it was $200. Within 2 months, it was 99 cents.
Yeah, that was a bad phone.
I did switch to it on my COU just so I could get the free year of Amazon Prime, though.
Real nice.
Oh yeah. Because you don't send in for anything. You just make that your number. You call them up and say, "Hey, see, I have a Amazon phone on there." And all right, here you go. Awesome.
Real nice.
Hey, don't judge me, man. I'm sure you did some shady shit when you had no job for 1 year.
No.
Yeah, bullshit. Okay. Whatever. All right. Anyway, what were we talking? Oh yes, they lost a fuck ton of money on cell.
Yeah, get out of there.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I assume they're counting down the days for Civil War to come out, just so they can get something.
I don't understand.
What's that?
I don't understand.
But that's when Spider-Man comes out, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure how much of a cut they get out of that movie, though.
They must get something. They're letting them use Spider-Man.
I guess, but it's definitely not going to be something where it's not going to be enough to reverse whatever the fuck they're losing on cell phones.
Hey, I'm not sure they're going to say no. It's thanks, but we needed more. That you can keep. No.
Well, sure, but they're oh yeah, we got 20 million for letting them use Spider-Man, and also we lost almost $2 billion on cell phones again.
Well, we'll see. Marvel movies tend to make a lot of money, so we'll see. It'll definitely help out whenever they release that new Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I digress. Cell phones, stop doing that, Sony. Because the problem is, first they'll only choose one. If you're gonna make anything, go for all four companies. Don't be stupid. Look at when they first came out, they were on T-Mobile only. The number 4 company out of the big four. That's great. Right? And then after and kudos to them. Afterwards, they became exclusive to Verizon, which is great. I mean, it's Verizon. It's arguably the number 2 company. But aside from that, I'm kind of I pick favorites, folks. Sorry, I work for AT&T, but still, that's only one company. Go for all of them. Come on, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. So, anything else on that story there, Joe?
No.
All right.
Like, I mean, I guess it's nice to see another uptick in PS4 sales. But...
Yeah, I mean, PS4. That's what's getting them the most money right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's up like 2.8 million since the last time we checked on that number.
Yep.
So yeah, kudos to them, and showed that Bloodborne did move units. All right, what's the next story?
Let's see. E3 2015 is taking a little bit more shape here as EA announced its the date and time for its press conference. They announced that it will take place on June 15th, which I believe is a Monday. Yes, it is, at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Yep. There's no confirmation on what exactly they are going to show, but you imagine that they've got more Star Wars to show, Battlefront, Battlefield, hopefully a Mass Effect game. That'd be nice to finally see. Things like that. Yep, there you go.
All right. You excited for the EA conference there, Joe?
Just to see freaking Mass Effect. There's got to be Mass Effect news already, right? Like, it'd be nice to see what it's actually called and what it looks like.
I would love it if it was like Borderlands on Vita, where it's just like a logo appears.
Yeah.
We have games coming out like Mass Effect 4. Oh my god. And like, oh shit, that wasn't supposed to be there. Sorry. Yeah, I imagine we'd see something. I mean, if there is a Mass Effect 4, I'm gonna guess it's gonna save it till the very end. Like, they're talking about it. They're like saying it's gonna be like 4 times bigger than all the other Mass Effect games when it comes out and what have you. Plus, keep in mind, the success of Dragon Age 3, which killed it when it came out, despite what Joe will say. And if that game killed it, I can only imagine how big Mass Effect is going to be when it comes out again.
Yeah, like, I don't need it to be a massive. Like, it doesn't, like I know that's some, like, part of the whole new gen thing is that, you can make a game prettier and bigger. Like, it doesn't have to be much bigger. Those Mass Effect games are already pretty big. So if it could just be prettier and just as fun.
The whole universe will fit on that Blu-ray.
Like, just make it prettier and then just keep doing what you were doing. Those are good games.
Make it so pretty that your face melts off, just like the Arkham. I assume it's going to be good. Are you excited at all for Battlefront?
Yeah, that looks real good.
It does. I got people that are actually pretty stoked about it. So
yeah. Next, so we're looking at 5 weeks from E3, I guess.
Mm-hmm, and counting. I'm gonna have to get the days off to look at those conferences.
Yeah, this will be the first time in a very long time where I'm not gonna be able to just be at home and just fucking watch these conferences.
Yeah, hopefully somebody puts them on YouTube, because like last year I remember like I forget which one. I think it was the Microsoft one. They took their sweet time putting it up there, so I had to get it secondhand. Oh well, time will tell. All right, Joe, what else happened this week?
Let's see. Activision had a big blowout for the super official Call of Duty Black Ops 3. They revealed that properly on April 26th, this past Sunday. The biggest thing, of course, is that it will be released on November 6th, 2015, which was the leak date from a little while before they revealed it. If you pre-order the game, you'll have access to the multiplayer beta, which is the first time I think that they've done that since like World at War, which was like Call of Duty 5 or something many years ago at this point. Was last time they did a beta for Call of Duty game. And the campaign, I guess the story takes place, I think, in the year 2060, which is even a few years further in the future than even Advanced Warfare. So it's kind of funny that they're kind of stepping on the whole Advanced Warfare thing. But it seems to, the movement seems to take some cues from Titanfall, like pretty similar in terms of that, with your little jetpack, scooting around with that. And the multiplayer apparently is more of a MOBA type thing where you're not just playing a generic character, you choose a specific character with actual character traits. It seems like a pretty interesting direction for the franchise to go.
It's Tommy Gunn. His ability is he's good with guns. He's up against Jason Knives, who's good with knives. Let's see who wins. Oh, Tommy Gunn shoots him from several miles away. Good job. Well, that's interesting. A MOBA. Huh.
Yeah, I have no frame of reference for what that actually means. That's just what I've been hearing from
League
people.
of Legends.
I know MOBA games. I've never actually played a MOBA though. So when people say it's like a MOBA, like that doesn't mean anything to me. But yeah, like the zombies mode that Treyarch have put into pretty much all of their games at this point. I think that's gonna have its own XP progression system this time around. So like you'll earn your own separate XP there. So yeah, it seems like a pretty big game this time around.
Alrighty. Do you have anything else to say on the whole EA conference, buddy?
Not sure how it relates to this Activision product, but no.
Oh gosh darn, it's late. I'm so sorry. All right. Anything else to say on Call of Duty?
No.
All right, moving on.
All right. Let's see here. I don't know if you remember from a little while ago where we figured out that, or we heard that some developers or some veterans from Rare from back in the day had formed another studio.
Refresh my memory.
The studio's called, what's it called? Platonic. They were working on a game that they were teasing was going to be something similar to Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
And they fully revealed that, earlier today, and launched a Kickstarter for it. And the Kickstarter met its goal in 40 minutes.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the game is called Yooka-Laylee. And it's spelled, and it's basically spelled the same way as Banjo-Kazooie, where Yuka is one word, there's a hyphen, and then Laylee, basically denoting the two characters, in the game, Yuka and Laylee. And just like Banjo-Kazooie, the smaller character rides on the back of the larger character. Yeah, there you go. The game is slated for release on PC for meeting its Kickstarter goal, and it's slated for release on like PlayStation 4 and Xbox One as well. But if it reaches a high enough stretch goal, it'll release on consoles on the same day as the PC version, as opposed to having to wait a little while.
What are the odds of that happening, do you think?
Well, at this rate, I would say pretty high, judging by how fast it met its goal.
You have like an active idea what the latest update is on it?
I am opening it right now. Yooka-Laylee, a 3D platformer, Rare Revival. Yuck.
Did I just say yuck in there?
No, I'm doing that. Yeah, Jesus. Okay, it's at $1.3 million as of right now, and this is 12 hours old. So, probably about $1 million an hour is pace that they're setting today since its launch.
So, what does it need to reach in order to be out on the same day as PC?
Well, the annoying thing is that since this is a British company, all the stretch goals are in British pounds, Malcolm. So it says the stretch goal is £1 million. I don't know what exactly that would translate to in dollars. But I think it would probably be like 1.88 million for that to be the case.
All right, so pretty good chance.
Yeah, pretty likely. Either way, it's making it onto the PlayStation 4.
Yay.
Whether it's a staggered release or simultaneous, either way, it'll be there.
Did you ever play Banjo-Kazooie?
Very little of it, because some of it, and I don't understand the fanfare. Nuts and Bolts was the only one that I really liked at all. So I don't know.
Wait, you like Nuts and Bolts? The one that's critically acclaimed for being terrible?
You're terrible. How dare you?
Nuts and Bolts, that's the one where you had to build a race car and all that?
Yeah, that game is awesome. Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie are not fun games at all.
I think you're just that much of a car guy, Joe.
Maybe Banjo-Kazooie just was never very good at all. You ever think of that?
I really don't think that.
That's not good. No, those rare platformers are not fun. I don't understand the reverence for them.
You should check out John Tron's review of Nuts and Bolts.
Good game.
All right. Well, I'll give it a shot. I never tried Banjo-Kazooie as a kid, so I'll...
lucky you.
Okay.
It's like, hey, would you like to collect 8,000 things and then literally nothing else of value?
Hold 8,000? Isn't that like every game ever where you have like all this stuff?
Rare games, specifically, like Donkey Kong 64 was lousy with collectibles. Was generally just was not fun.
You collected more stuff other than the K, O, N, and G's that were hit.
Oh, God, man, let me tell you.
Where does he hold all those bananas?
Like, I enjoyed, Conker's Bad Fur Day back in the day. But
yeah.
But that was the only rare platformer that I liked at all.
All right. Well, enough memory lane trips and fondly looking back. What else happened this week, buddy?
Let's see. Watch Dogs 2 has appeared on a Ubisoft employee's resume. So good job, that guy. Yeah. So I mean, that's
I gotta do that. You're like, hey, I'm working on Metal Gear 6. Hire me.
Obviously a sequel to Watch Dogs is not surprising. That game sold over 8 million copies, I think, at last count. So not surprising that a sequel would be in the works. But this is the first. Actually, I'm not even sure this is really the first we're hearing about it. According to the story on VideoGamer.com, creative director Jonathan Morin admitted that there was, quote, a lot of room for improvement in Watch Dogs, adding that any potential sequel would have to appeal to fans in a new way.
Make that the tagline for the new sequel. A lot of room for improvement.
Oh, man. Let's see here. Ubisoft has declined to comment to you, Video Gamer, on the story. So there you go. Take that for what you will. But yeah, I would be surprised if it was not at E3 this year. A Watch Dogs 2. Hopefully this franchise pulls an Assassin's Creed and really turns it around, because that first game was pretty disappointing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It's like I played it for like 5 hours, and I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna pick up here, and I just traded it back. That was like the bummer of the year. I mean, the first that I still remember that first trailer. You're like, oh my god, this is gonna change. No.
Yeah, and then it got delayed, and then you see another trailer. It's like, this looks significantly worse than it used to. What's going on?
And it got to a point where like, okay, look, I was excited the first time, and please stop showing me multiplayer things. But yeah, I'm hoping that you're right, that they reveal Ezio as the main character, and thus does a better game than it was last time, other than being Dark McVigilante or whatever the guy's name was last time. And
Aiden Pierce, was it?
Aiden Pierce, there we go. Dark McVigilante. What do you think the odds are that it's going to be good?
Hopefully high. I want to say high.
I do too.
Okay, I'll say, actually, let me break it down to that. Medium.
It's kind of, it'll be kind of good.
Because there's always the risk that the publisher is like, hey, it sold 8 million copies. We don't have to change shit. So there's always that chance.
Ooh, that's true.
So hopefully someone making creative decisions is like, maybe we can fix this.
All right, hopefully. All right, moving on. What else happened?
Let's see. Speaking of leaks here, Malcolm, Disney Infinity 3.0 apparently will be a Star Wars thing when it gets its starter pack or whatever.
You have to buy another disc?
I don't know, I guess.
Is that how they make the money? They make you buy the game like every 6 months.
Well, I mean, isn't that what happened with 2.0? It was not just the new figures, but a new game as well.
Yeah, it was a new game as well, and you had, if you didn't get that one, then the other ones, then the new ones wouldn't work. So yeah.
Right, so this is 3.0 here, and there aren't any actual details because this was a retailer leak, where I guess they listed the game earlier than they should have. A German retailer called, what's it called? Where'd it go? It was
That's a long name.
I forget what the name of the retailer was, but point is that the Star Wars starter pack, I guess, comes with a Anakin Skywalker figure, because that's everyone's favorite Skywalker for sure. Let's see, Ahsoka Tano from that show everyone likes. What's it called? The Star Wars Clone Wars. Is that the one?
Rebels?
I don't know. I'm not gonna.
If it's the new one, it's Rebels. The previous one, this is a CG series, right?
It's a CG series. The girl with the 2 lightsabers.
Oh, Ahsoka. Yeah. Well, she's actually in both, but yeah, primarily the first one, Clone Wars.
Yeah. So it comes with those 2 as figures. Comes with pad. They put them on.
They got a pad for Padme.
Let's see. The starter packs were priced at €69 on Xbox One and PS4, €59 on PS3 and 360. Disney has not officially confirmed the release, of course, but hopefully soon you'll hear about that in an official capacity.
You excited at all for this one?
Yeah,
me neither. If Marvel almost got me to Disney Infinity 2.0, but no. I already buy Amiibos enough as it is, for Christ's sakes. All right, what's the next story?
Let's see. Oh, this one's fun. Batman Arkham Knight. That game everyone's excited about. Warner Brothers decided to go ahead and announce that there will be a season pass for this game because of course. And on top for this punishingly single player game, you'll get a season pass. And it's not the typical $20 or $30, Malcolm knows there. This is a $40 $40 for this season pass, which of course you can pre-order now digitally, because why wouldn't you do that? So what do you get, Malcolm? For 6 months after release, pass holders will get, quote, new story missions, sure. Additional supervillains invading Gotham City, okay. okay. Legendary Batmobile skins, advanced challenge maps, okay. Alternative character skins, okay. And new drivable racetracks. What the fuck ever? What the fuck are we doing
Drivable racetracks?
What are we even doing anymore, Malcolm?
Oh my god.
What are we even doing anymore? Like, when I was, in this lead up for this game, being able to drive the Batmobile, what I've thought about is like, you know what this game needs? More races. It needs races, Malcolm. So thank God for this $40 season pass that delivers more exactly.
I mean, the story stuff has me kind of excited. Like, here comes a new challenger, and you have to this new story with Killer Croc or something else. I guess that had me still $40. Okay, they're starting to lose their mind.
It's almost enough for me to not buy the game and just wait for a complete edition for Black Friday.
Yeah,
because why would I pay $60 and still missing
$100, man? Jesus.
Yeah, it's like, why would I want to pay $100 when I could pay $60 in like 7 months and get all of that?
Yeah, it's kind of depressing because that's $100, like I said. Or you could just wait and save $40, or heck, it might even be
$39.99. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I can buy the game, and like, if the story stuff interests me, I can buy that and nothing else. Because why? Yeah. Man, that's
because I'm not gonna care for the skins.
No,
like the most I'll want to do is get the Batman Beyond skin for Batman. That's it. I mean,
oh god, that's annoying.
That really kind of infuriated me. $40, so like $24, okay, whatever. $19.99, all right, whatever. At $40, it's like on the one hand, I don't know if I should be impressed that they're thinking of doing that much stuff to play after the game's release. $40, like no,
no, that's unacceptable. I don't want that.
Yeah, I'll probably be like you. I mean, because I don't know if I'd skip it, Joe. I mean, it's freaking Rocksteady Batman, man. And but I'll probably get that and then just do the story shit.
I mean, you wouldn't have to wait long. You know why?
Why?
Because Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor is getting a Game of the Year edition on May 5th for $49.99.
Is that true?
Yes, launching on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on May 5th. Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor Game of the Year edition will feature all of the currently available DLC for the game packed in. That includes the Lord of the Hunt add-on, the Bright Lord campaign, and a bevy of bonus mission skins and equipable runes.
Okay, so when did Shadows of Mordor come out? Was it October or November of last year?
7 months ago, Malcolm.
7 months.
And you can already buy it for $10 less with all the deals.
God damn.
So what are we doing anymore with video games, Malcolm?
I don't know, man.
Why would you buy a season pass for a $60 game when you could just wait 7 months and get it for cheaper?
Damn.
Like, that game came with the season pass as well, right? That was, what, $30 separate or $20?
Yeah. I don't know what to say to this, Joe. My God.
This is not a phenomenon I'm excited about.
No, it's going to continue, especially when they know it's going to be successful. Like, I'll say that I don't see every game doing this from now on. I think Arkham Knight is good at Arkham Knight is going to do this because it's Batman Arkham Knight, and if that makes sense. Like, you can tell it's going to, shatter records, or it's going to sell really well, I should say.
Yeah.
So it's and it's fucking Batman. They'll pay whatever. And you know what?
Yeah.
They're probably right, sadly. I mean, by the way, speaking of Batman, on a happier note, can we talk about the trailer that came out last week?
Which trailer? For the game?
Yeah.
If you want, I didn't watch it.
Of course you did watch it.
Why would I watch it? I know I'm going to play the game. Of
course
I don't need more information.
It showed off the Robins, Joe.
Great. I'll see them when I play the game.
But yeah, so I can discuss it with other people. It showed off as now, all the Bat family actually helps because you got Robin, aka Tim Drake, showing off his moves. They got Nightwing, aka Dick Grayson, showing off some moves, and they had Catwoman now helping Batman out. And the cool thing is, you can actually somehow there's no co-op still for some reason. Because seriously, how awesome would that be if you co-op this people? But you actually work together, and you're controlling both characters, which I'm not sure how that shit's gonna work to clear out rooms and whatnot. It showed Batman and Robin and all these other characters working in tandem with each other to take out multiple bad guys, and it looked pretty badass. Don't know how it's going to be to control.
Yeah.
So check that trailer out. Gets you excited for the game, just as well as the freaking DLC gets you depressed for the game. So, so it balances out. You see. All right, Joe. What else happens?
Let's see. Big changes are coming to Final Fantasy 15 following feedback from the episode to Sky demo.
Yeah, this was really interesting.
Yeah, and a special episode of Active Team Report, which is, I guess, their video podcast over at Square Enix. It's the director Hajime Tabata and marketing manager Akio Ofuji explained that many people found troubling and how the developer is taking steps to make the end product more palatable. This is a report on IGN. It says Tabata acknowledged that the game's controls received the lowest score, with the camera lock-on and a general feeling of chaos in combat all coming under scrutiny. I agree with all of that completely. He's acknowledged this and has promised that the team are thoroughly addressing it. He also promised that your team's AI would be bumped up, while a minimap and difficulty option will be added as well. As for complaints about performance, the director explained that the demo didn't have anti-aliasing, while the finished game will. Similarly, frame rate optimization will be an absolute priority going further, and everyone feels the frame rate is more important than resolution. That sounds like they'll sacrifice, the resolution if that means keeping the frame rate steady. So there you go. He also revealed that the top complaints for North America and the European players differed, with those from the U.S. complaining that Noctis's voice sounds weirdly like Batman.
Yeah.
While Europeans weren't comfortable with the sexualized depiction of Cindy. In relation to the voice, Tabata explained that the lines were done quite last minute, and by the time he realized that it didn't work, it was too late. Thankfully, Square has already re-recorded the lines to make Noctis seem younger, and this is the direction that will be taken for the rest of the game. With regards to Cindy, Tabata emphasized that she isn't meant to be a sexy character, and if that's a problem, it could be because she was created by male devs, so they'll rein it in. That's surprisingly self-aware. The touchstone for him is apparently a character you wouldn't be embarrassed with your parents seeing while you're playing in the living room. He also said again that some female characters may appear as guest party members, and that the men in the party will change their behavior accordingly when that happens. There you go.
So, were you surprised or relieved by this news, Joe?
It's nice to see that they're implementing that feedback, because on the one hand, excessive focus testing can certainly hurt the game if you lean too heavily on what people think you should do with your product. You have to look no further than Insomniac's Fuse that used to be Overstrike, which was a much more colorful game when they revealed it, and then they focus tested it into the ground to the point where it became a bland shooter like every other one. I don't know if you remember all that, Malcolm. So as far as focus testing goes, I don't usually care for it, but these seem to be sensible, fairly common sense fixes pretty much all around there.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting that this demo became the world's largest quality assurance test, it feels like.
Yeah.
But, I like the changes. I adapted to the wild gameplay, but I can understand how that would be a pain in the ass for a lot of people, as I had, especially the wolves. They were such a pain in the ass to take out.
Yeah.
So that's going to be great. And I agree completely with the voice. That was my main issue, because you remember Gladio, the huge dude with the big sword?
Mm-hmm.
I could not tell him and Noctis apart. So I'm happy to hear that they're going to make him sound younger, because he sounded like this all the time. And I'm glad they're toning that crap down. So, how did you feel about Cindy? Do you agree with the Europeans?
Yeah, because it was weird. Like, it was just, you're getting a car fixed or whatever, and the dudes are just fucking ogling her like, oh, prepared to even keep their tongues in their mouths or whatever.
Well,
that was a little
blonde guy was. The Noctis, Ignis, and the rest of them were pretty.
No, they were all pretty when they were around.
And plus, wasn't she like walking sexy, quote unquote, too? It's like,
yeah, the whole thing was really weird. Like you're a mechanic, like you're a mechanic, and and I assume that you dudes have seen a woman before anyway. So it's like, let's all settle down here. Like, let's all tone it down a little bit.
Well, it's easy to forget the Final Fantasy characters are supposed to be teenagers, so I could see them reacting like that. Doesn't mean they're going to get anywhere with her, but I wonder if she's going to be like Officer Jenny from Pokemon, where every city has a Sydney.
That'd be pretty funny, actually.
It's like, hey, weren't you at the last? Oh, you were talking about my sister, Jenny. Sydney's. Why the hell would your dad name all of you Sydney? Oh, send that into Square. See how they react. Alrighty. So yeah, I'm very positive about it. I think Final Fantasy 15 is going to be a tremendous game.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Well, speaking of that demo, though, apparently, Square Tabata says that they will be patching the demo as well to version 2.0, and which is already in development. And Square Enix hope to be able to distribute that updated version sometime between mid to late May. He says that there's no precedent of applying update patches to a demo release up until now, so Square Enix are currently in discussions with Sony and Microsoft to see if this would actually be possible. In the event that it is not possible, Square will make episode 2.0 available at events for attendees to play.
Fuck you.
But in any case, episode This Guy 2.0 plans to make active battle time or battle enhancements, adjustments to the game's camera and targeting system, as well as add more moves to the combat system as well. This includes more joint attacks, the possible inclusion of a dodge roll, improving the range of Noctis' weapons, and more. Additionally, Square Enix also plans to make adjustments to the demo's game balance, take another look at MP recovery and usage, and not using up MP for perfectly timed dodges, and to make bug fixes where necessary. Tabata mentions that the update will prevent players from reaching the Titan via the previously discovered Titan bug, but teases that there might be a different way to reach him in episode This Guy 2.0. Yep.
Sounds good. Also, they'll be removing the from Hideo Productions on there as well. But yeah, that'd be really cool if they can pull that off. So hopefully, because chances are I'm not going to be able to play 2.0 if they don't do an update.
Right. I have already deleted the demo. I don't feel like downloading 6 gigs again, so you'll just have to report back.
Yeah, sounds just like I do on the trailers. All right, what's the next story?
Let's see. Sony have finally revealed the PlayStation Plus games for May 2015.
Yay.
Let's see. We've got a pretty decent collection, I think, here, although I've got the vast majority of what's on offer. First up for PlayStation 4 is Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition.
Yay.
Okay. You sound very enthusiastic there.
Well, I've played it like several times now. So
yeah, I've actually already platinumed it on PS4, as well as Vita and PS3, and gotten all the achievements in the Xbox One version. Point is, I've played the hell out of it. Ether 1 on PS4, which is a haunting first-person puzzler, which tasks you with restoring the minds of the mentally ill by solving complex puzzles and sewing together the frayed strands of the patient's lives. I assume that game will be released on May 5th, because I don't think that's going to be one of those that is free and released. The Unfinished Swan on PlayStation 4, 3, and Vita. That's a cross-buy thing. And since it is a cross-buy thing, I already have that on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and Vita. But, if you haven't checked it out yet, there you go. Race the Sun on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and Vita as well. That's a pretty fun game. Hohokam on PS4, PlayStation 3, and Vita.
That's a fun game.
Yeah, makes zero sense to me, but it's fun and pretty to look at. And finally, on Vita, Murasaki Baby, which had a pretty impressive showing, and people seem to like well enough, but I never got around to playing. But this would be the time to do so. There you go. Those are the games.
Nice. What do you think on this one?
I've got pretty much all of the games there, except for the one that hasn't been released yet, which is Ether 1 and Murasaki Baby.
Yeah, that's starting to happen more and more, I've noticed, slowly but surely.
Yeah.
And it's kind of indie-tastic, so if you're looking for any AAA games, not so much, but those are still all good games.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
Let's see. Some Dragon Age DLC news here. Dragon Age Inquisition is finally getting its DLC on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3 on May 26th. The DLC being Jaws of Hakan. That was released way back I think in March in March on Xbox One and PC. Apparently they signed an exclusivity contract for the DLC with Microsoft, which apparently forces BioWare not to disclose exactly when the DLC would show up on other platforms. But
yes, that was kind of weird. But yeah, I remember them mentioning that forever ago before the game's release.
But yeah, in about 3 weeks' time, you'll finally be able to play.
All right.
Let's see. On top of this, Malcolm, there is some free multiplayer DLC that they just announced as well for Dragon Age Inquisition. The Dragon Slayer update provides fierce new beasts for you and your party to take on. Players will be able to strengthen their Inquisition's forces with new agents, Avar Warrior Skywatcher, Zither the Virtuoso, and Raider Queen of the Eastern Seas, Isabella. It also contains an all-new Ferelden Castle location. This update will become available on Tuesday, May 5th for all platforms.
Very cool.
If you say so.
All right, what's the next story?
Ubisoft has released a new and free Child of Light illustrated book that you can get digitally.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, in celebration of the game's first anniversary. They just kind of released it as a PDF. People kept calling it an art book, just because, it's an illustrated book, but like it's an actual storybook that is an illustrated book. So it's like, it's not an art book, it's not a collection of illustrations. It is a properly illustrated story. So if you enjoyed the game and the art, I encourage you to check that out. It's free. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why not? All right, what's next?
Let's see. Overkill's The Walking Dead. I don't know if you remember, that's one of the many Walking Dead games suddenly floating around. Overkill
like
being
rail shooter, isn't it?
No, not. I don't know. Probably, I don't think so though. But this is
I love how you're so conditioned to say no to me that you'll just start by no.
I'm pretty sure it's not a rail shooter. Overkill being the developer behind Payday and Payday 2. They're making a Walking Dead game that they revealed that will for sure be released on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. They also announced a console publishing agreement with 505 Games, and under this agreement, they will publish Overkill's The Walking Dead on console. So there you go. There you go. Overkill, those Payday games are a lot of fun.
Awesome.
It's weird that they're calling it Overkill's The Walking
I don't know. That's not the name of the studio, right?
Overkill? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That's why.
But I mean, it's just a weird thing to call it.
Like, did they call it Telltale's The Walking Dead, or?
I'm not sure. That's what people call it anyway.
Yeah, I guess that's why. Just so you can't call it Walking Dead, otherwise they're like, well, which one? It's like, survival instinct. No, you don't want to play it.
No, you don't.
All right, what's the next story?
Speaking of zombies, Malcolm, Dead Island 2 has been delayed into 2016. This was announced via the game's official Twitter account. They released one of those tweet longer things where you can just tweet entire blog posts or whatever.
Okay, there's no way to say twit longer without making it sound like you're making fun of the guy.
Yeah, it's like, I don't understand the point of twit longer. If you have something longer that doesn't fit in 130 characters, just put it on a blog. Put it on a real blog.
At that point, or Facebook. There you go.
But anyway, on this Twit Longer post, they said, quote, "We have always set ourselves a big goal for Dead Island 2, which is to create the sequel that takes Dead Island to the next level. A game that takes what our fans tell us they love about Dead Island, multiple different characters to play with co-op and training a paradise setting into zombie slaughter melee, and a game that adds a ton of more content and combat options on top of that. And we wanted to have all of that done for release in spring 2015. I don't believe that for a second, but okay. We've been looking at the game long and hard, and we have decided that we didn't reach that goal we set out to achieve quite yet. This is why we've decided to delay Dead Island 2 to 2060. Right now, we are focusing purely on development, and we will have more info to share at a later stage. We know that our fans will be disappointed by this news, but giving Dead Island 2 more time, that we are confident that everyone will get a better game to play as a result."
Dead Island has fans?
Yeah, those games sell a lot. But I don't know.
All right, just so we're on the same page, we're talking about the Dead Island was that series that had that awesome trailer forever ago that people thought was going to be a great game.
Yeah, and then was not. But people really liked anyway the game.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
And but I'm guessing what really happened here is that they looked at the Dying Light and they're like, "Oh, this is the game that we should." Like, they beat us to the punch. This other game is already really good. We need to do something different now.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Dying Light was in a nutshell. It was like, imagine Dead Island except good. I mean,
yeah, like this is basically Dead Island 2.
Wow.
Especially because it was created by the people who made the first Dead Island game in the first place.
That's fun. All right. You excited for Dead Island 2, Joe?
No.
Yeah.
No, I am not.
Go find the stick in the hospital. Yeah. All right. What's the next story?
Let's see. The first 10 tracks have been revealed for Guitar Hero Live.
Sadly, none of them are Hotel California. But it's now that I think about it, that's Rock Band. This is Guitar Hero. So,
I'm pretty sure that song's in both of those games already, though.
In Spanish, or
no?
Because that was the original one from The Big Lebowski. If you remember that Hotel California. It was played by Gypsy Kings, and the song was all in Spanish.
Was that not a cover of the Eagles song?
Yeah, I'm not saying. I'm saying that version of the song wasn't. We need to try to keep up, Joe. We're doing Gypsy Kings. I want a Spanish version of Hotel California. If you can't afford the Gypsy Kings, but I don't think that'll be a problem.
But in any case, these 10 tracks are, I guess, songs that you can play. I have no opinion on any of this music because I've actually never heard it.
Great.
But on top of, showing this screenshot with this track list, the developers said that, this represents just a fraction of Guitar Hero Live's total soundtrack, which will include hundreds of songs out of the gate across the main game and the online-focused mode, Guitar Hero TV. So that's the interesting part. Hundreds of songs sounds like a lot.
Well, that's because it is a lot, Joe. That's hundreds of songs, literally.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, well, I'm kind of stoked. I like that idea.
Yeah.
All right. What else happened this week with PlayStation?
Let's see. The final car list, or the final list of cars, was revealed for Project Cars, which is out on May 8th. Not much to say about it, except that it's interesting that the vast majority of them are European cars, except for a couple of Fords. Like, literally everything except for the Fords is all European. No Japanese or American cars are featured in the game, aside from...
Dom would be pissed.
aside from a Ford, aside from, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ford.
Where's my American muscle?
And one of them is a Ford Escort that is made... that is only made in Europe. The Ford Focus RS, which originated in Europe anyway. So really, only 4 non-European cars.
However, in their defense, are they actually good cars?
Yeah, they're good cars. They're all great cars, but I just thought it was
interesting. Yeah. Do you have a pick out of all the cars?
Not really. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the career progression of that game is going to be.
So how do they figure out the winner? Is it like a demolition derby or?
Yes. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Callisto shows up and he grants you a wish.
Great. Like, they'll take on the Batmobile and one of the new skins that are coming out in that $40 DLC. Project Cards. And then the cards merge to form Minosaur.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Transformer fan out there got that joke. All right. What's the next story, buddy?
All right. This is interesting here. Let's see. In the news this week, outside of video games, is there's been some unrest over in Baltimore, to say the very least. And part of what happened, or one of the things that was affected by all that stuff is, the Baltimore Orioles were in town to play, their home games against the Chicago White Sox, and they had to cancel a couple of them, postpone those for a later date, and they couldn't postpone the entire series because that would have been a whole scheduling nightmare. Like, it was hard enough to reschedule 2 games in a packed schedule of 162. So they played that last game of the series in an empty stadium. The game was closed to the public.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so they played in front of nobody. And MLB 15, the show, has this mode where you connect to the internet and it updates. You can play basically every day's games, however you want. Like all the lineups are set, all the pitching matchups are set, so you can play pretty much every matchup perfectly as they happen in real life. But what they did was they took it one step further for this last game on Wednesday, and made it so that you play in front of no crowd, which is really weird.
Like, so there's no crowd noise or anything like that?
No, there's no crowd noise or nothing.
That's got to be creepy.
It is. Like, I was watching highlights of the game, in real life, and it's like super weird. Like, there's one of the dudes on Baltimore's team cranked a 3-run home run, which would have, normally driven the freaking crowd wild because, hey, we hit a 3-run home run. That's super great. But all it did was rattle around in the seats, and there was just no crowd. It's like, what the hell's crazy? It's so eerie.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can recreate that in MLB 15, the show, if you feel like it.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's I mean, the circumstances for the empty ballpark are a little more somber, but otherwise, definitely an interesting footnote in the history of Major League Baseball.
All right.
That's all I want to say about that.
Don't worry.
Here's some news.
No one's judging you, geez. So you're for the riots? No. All right. What's the next story, man?
Here's some news for you to get excited about, Malcolm, and that's that Mighty Number 9 is launching on September 15th on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation Vita. Or rather, it'll launch on September 15th on PS3 and PS4, with the Vita version coming shortly after.
You're not excited about this?
On top of this, Malcolm,
okay.
Let's see, they are also releasing a physical version, as they've partnered with Deep Silver to release the game physically on store shelves if you want to go that route, I think.
Wow, it's going to be a big game, I guess.
Yeah.
So are you not excited about this?
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Okay, you're like, here's one for you. I'm like, oh, you don't like this?
No, it's that you've been dead for like the last 10 stories.
Well, I don't really have much to say about these stories, man. It's like, Dead Island, you love that game, Malcolm, don't you? No. Oh, man. But yeah, I'm really stoked about it. For those of you who don't remember, I actually helped sponsor this game on Kickstarter, which is currently the only game I've done that for. And gave it $20. So hopefully I'll have a free game coming.
Not really free, Mel.
Well,
that was the point.
All right, fine, whatever. Alrighty, but I can't wait. September 15th. Never forget. It's going to be great. Have you seen the footage of the game?
Yeah, looks real pretty.
It does. It really does. All right. What else happened this week?
Interestingly enough, The Last of Us Left Behind will be available as a standalone download starting on May 12th for just $9.99 on either PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3.
For just $9.99. That's pretty cool. Because if I recall before, you needed the disc.
Yes.
And you've heard me and Joe talk about this standalone thing. A pretty beautiful story. And if you enjoyed playing as Ellie in The Last of Us and thought, you know what, I would love to do that more, then you're gonna be all Ellie'd out after this, man. Oh man, but yeah, you have any memories of that game, Joe?
Yeah, they're all very fun because that was real good stuff.
Indeed.
Really loved it.
Nice little heartwarming story too.
Happy ending all around.
Oh yeah. Everyone, they cured the diseases. Everyone got home with their families. All right.
Definitely no heartbreak whatsoever.
No. No tragedy there.
Not at all.
All right. What's the next story?
Let's see. A game called Ultratron is coming to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and Vita on May 12th. Ultratron apparently is made by, or it's being published by Curve Digital, who've published a number of games on PlayStation as indie games. According to this indie post, the person who posted this PlayStation blog post was born in the 70s, which is a decade that no one really remembers because it was pretty grim. Okay, guy. Genuinely, he struggles to think of anything that could happen during the time. But things dramatically improved in the following decade because color was discovered. Apparently, it was a decade of shoulder. What's even happening here? Video games. Yeah, video games. Apparently, this is a game that takes a lot from Robotron 2084. I don't know if you remember that game, Malcolm. No. The original twin-stick shooter.
Robotron,
yeah. And
is that the one where the guy says, "Beware, I live," or something like that?
I don't think so. Okay. but this game seems heavily inspired by Robotron 2084, which is a magnificent game. Hard as hell, but like I said, the original twin-stick shooter holds up extremely well. If you find it somewhere, give it a shot.
So is it sad? Like I was skimming through and I saw Ultratron and I thought some idiot misspelled Ultron.
Wouldn't that be great though if it was Ultron?
It'd be freaking terrifying.
But this game will be cross-buy.
Okay, another yes or no question about Avengers 2, by the way. Does James Spader kill it as Ultron?
Yes.
All right, moving on.
Where was that? Here. Here we go. The Escapists. I don't know if you remember that game where you the little 8-bit. No, the 8-bit game where you escape prison.
Oh yeah.
That will be launching on PlayStation 4 on June 2nd.
Oh, June 2nd. For those of you who did forget, that's the 8-bit game where you're in prison and you're trying to escape. And there's like multiple ways it's surprisingly intricate for like an 8-bit game. Like you can fuck with video feed, you can cause a riot. I mean, it looks pretty interesting. So yeah, can't wait. Did it list a price?
I did not see a price, but we're still about a month away from that coming out. So
yeah,
we've got. Oh wait, no, here we go. $19.99, and
just $19.99.
And for an additional $2.99, you can grab the Alcatraz DLC prison.
Oh, okay. I'm guessing it just takes place in Alcatraz.
That's a very astute observation there, Malcolm.
So does that mean it's just like instead of blue, it's like gray in there? Or what?
I don't know.
I wonder if it looks like from when Roddy Piper was in there for whatever the reason to get ready to wrestle Hogan. I'm in Alcatraz. Now I'm taking a speedboat to the arena. Okay. All right. Well, you going to get this one, buddy?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it looks interesting. I think I'll pick it up. Yeah. All right. What's the next story?
That's all I got.
Ooh. Then I guess it's time for the drop.
Indeed it is, Malcolm. And the biggest game this week is also the first one alphabetical. That's Broken Age finally making its way over to PlayStation. Act 2 came out on PC this week, so the full game is available on PlayStation platforms, PS4 and Vita specifically as a digital cross-buy game. You can grab it for $24.99, I think. Let's see. No, it's $24.99, and I think it's on sale for a little bit. Yeah, if you're on PlayStation Plus, you can get it for $17.49. cents for like a week or two, I think.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, so people really enjoy that game a lot. This was pretty much the original Kickstarter, Malcolm. For Kickstarter had been around for a while, but this is the first high-profile game to be funded over there. If you remember, it earned like $3 million on Kickstarter and whatever, and it was a whole, and the fruits of that labor are finally paid off 3 years later.
Finally.
So that's cool. I backed that game, so I should probably finally download it now that it's fully out.
And you played the first bit?
No, I figured I would wait for the full thing.
Oh, God damn, you spoiled Brad. God.
What?
You play the? Do you wait for like all the Telltale games to come out and then play too, or
no? Because I mean, this was supposed to be a full thing when it came out anyway, and then they're like, "Oh, we got to split this in two because we underestimated the amount of money we needed, even though they got $3 million." So that was the whole thing.
And this is a point-and-click adventure, kind of like Shadowgate.
I don't know anything about Shadowgate, but yes, it is a point-and-click.
Fucking youngin.
Just because you're 100, don't yell at me.
Hey,
cantankerous old coot.
You go YouTube Shadowgate after this broadcast, okay?
Bryce, you even know how to access YouTube, you old fart.
I know more than you do. I know what Shadowgate is.
Yeah, because you're 1,000.
Yeah, they're remaking Shadowgate, I'll have you know.
Oh, yeah? Can you play that on your computer machine, Malcolm, over there?
Well, not mine. Hey, I got a PS4. I'm happy with that. Everything trickles down eventually, Joe. Something you kids don't know about is patience. All right, what's the next game?
Omega Quintet on PlayStation 4 is a digital and retail title. That is a $60 game. This is funny. In this hybrid RPG/idol simulation, 5 idols wield sound weapons against the dark forces of the world, build up an arsenal of attacks that crowds pulse racing with extraordinary skill, and then get them on their feet with a live performance. So that's actually kind of want to check it out. Seems like a cross between an RPG and like freaking Hatsune Miku or something. Next game is Paranormal Pursuit, the Gifted One Collector's Edition, which is $14.99 on PlayStation 3.
Sounds like a trivia game.
Paranormal Pursuit?
Yeah.
No, Malcolm. Every second counts in this breathtaking paranormal adventure. Lives are on the line as you race to keep a young boy with psychic abilities from falling into the hands of an evil politician. To evade the henchman sent to kill you and kidnap the child, you'll have to find cleverly hidden objects and solve cunning puzzles using the boy's abilities to manipulate time and matter. So yeah, Trivial Pursuit. Let's see. Project Root on PlayStation 4 and Vita is a digital cross-buy game.
Project Root?
Project Root, or $9.99 cross-buy.
I am Groot.
Let's see. Risk is on PlayStation 3 for $10 if you needed to play a board game on your TV. Sketch Cross is out on PlayStation Vita for $9.99, I believe, or $7.99. That's the Picross game on your Vita there. Tropico 5 on PlayStation 4 is a digital retail game for $59.99 as well.
You get to be a dictator.
Yes, sir. On top of that, you can get Brawl, the basement crawl terrible thing, for free. If you were stuck with getting basement crawl the first time around, you can get it free. There's also a demo for you to ignore as well. Let's see here. I guess that's pretty much it. Looking for notable DLC, and I'm having a hard time finding anything.
Any sales or anything going on? Or?
Well, there's always a sale. Let's see. I think Atlas is having their usual monthly deals or monthly sale on random stuff that they sell. So go check that out. Resident Evil, I think, is having a sale. You can get Resident Evil Revelations Episode 1 for $3. Resident Evil Remastered for $14.99, $5 off, etc. Nothing super special.
All right. Speaking of nothing super special, that ends this show.
Jeez.
Sorry, it's like couldn't think of a topic of the week. There's no mailbag segment this week. I mean, though we got a good conversation out of Konami being dumb. That's pretty good. Folks, that ends episode 144. Thank you so much for joining us for this week on the Firmware Update. Hope you enjoyed. And if you want to write in about anything, firmwareupdatepodcast@gmail.com. Just write on in and we'll read it on the show. We'll even discuss whatever you want us to discuss. You can also, if you like our show, you can find us on iTunes where you can hit that subscribe button and get every episode. And plus, helps us tremendously if you left a 5-star review for us. Nothing lower than 5. And even wrote something nice about us. We greatly appreciate it. You can also find us if you use an Android device, as you can get Stitcher Radio, which allows you to stream every episode as well as every other podcast out there. Or if you have some money, we recommend the Pocket Cast app, which you should have heard everyone's expression on the Let's Talk Then podcast I was on when I told them about it. He was like, yeah, tell us about your app. It's not my app. It's a fun little app that Joe found. And so, but yeah, Pocket Cast is $3.99, allows you to download as well as stream all the apps. You can also find every new episode on SoundCloud, and as well, we're also on YouTube, where you can see all of the podcasts and sometimes various segments I'll post up on there as well. So you can check us out at all those places. You can also find us on WordPress, as I believe it's official. It's thefirmup.com now. You can find us at, right,
Yep.
Joe?
Correctamundo.
Congratulations to Joe on getting that done for us. But yep, thefirmup.com. You can't get any easier than that. Don't need to worry about me jinxing it anymore. So go check us out. You'll see all the episodes there, and you can even download them. See all those links that we were talking about as well during the course of the show. And you can find us on Twitter at PSMouth for me, at Wants23 for Joe, and at the Firm Up for the show. And by the way, if you like wrestling, we highly recommend our second show, Slam University, where we go through every wrestler under the sun. And we're very excited about the starting of this month, as we actually have a special month in store. More on that later. All right, Joe, is there anything else I've left out?
No, sir.
Alrighty. With that being said, folks, we will see you again next week. Good night, everybody.
Toodaloo.